Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Global Racing League. We're here for round 10 this evening, here from the Circuit of the Americas on the south of the United States in Texas. And to say the least, it is a very, very wet racetrack out there. You'd think a warm climate such as the US, there wouldn't be much rain, but it is absolutely pouring it down out there currently. We've got the first set of guys heading out, most of them heading out on intermediates to start off with. And it is very, very treacherous out there. We're on board with Maestro coming through the S's and back up the hill, and well, that camera angle just tells it all really on how wet it is out there. You can barely see the cars going around the racetrack, it's that wet. As the first few cars make their way out onto the formation laps, Tom is back tonight, and it'll be an interesting evening for that man right there, Donkey Max, who failed to close the gap to Tom in Italy after having a spin off. Failed to score points that day where he could have easily got within touching distance of him, and you would arguably say that is a missed opportunity, so he's got it all to play for tonight. Also got AD back with us tonight, nice to see him again. It's been a while since we've seen AD. Let's get some lap times up, let's see what we can do. Track that up, I think that's oh, Mando's on our lap, so I think it's Grobs who's just set off on the lap, it is. And there he's driving the white Red Bull tonight. White Red Bull now in the game. I think this is a better livery than the other car, to be fair, than the standard blue one. It's a really nice livery, and him and mate have got the pleasure of driving that in this league. And Grobs goes purple sector 1. Obviously he hasn't set a lap yet. Maestro's gone faster behind him though, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Big Bad Boots is also on a lap. He has not gone purple. Physic hasn't either, so it looks like it's going to be Maestro taking the early pace. Scrubs comes down the back straight, no DRS currently due to the wet conditions. He heads down into the final sector and see what he's done here. Purple second sector, but obviously we'll have to wait and see what Maestro can do. He's about to cross the second sector now, and it's purple for him, so it looks like he's got the better early pace, and that's Mandro having a slide in the McLaren, just coming out of the couple of, well, the hairpin section of the track really. Turn 16, turn 15, sorry, stand corrected. That's Grobs is going to set the early pace. The early pace is going to be a 1:47.1. Maestro is next to come across the line, and it looks like he is going to be even quicker. It's a 1:46.5 for Maestro to open up. Big Bad Boots coming around the last sector, having a bit of a tussle with Reek Physic there. Reek Physic does a 47.9. Big Bad Boots gets caught out and does a 50.4. Maestro, Mace, sorry. That's not a very quick lap from him. It must have been invalidated because he's going around again. Deadly Mosquitoes coming through the last sector. And this isn't looking a very quick lap either. This could be Mid 150s as he has a bit of a spin coming out the last corner. I think he might have knocked his front wing there. He might have just got away with it, you know. He seemed to correct it pretty well, considering he had the slide. We have got a few spinners out there. That's Donkey Max round at turn 2. He's had a spin on his opening lap, so a few guys getting caught out, and that's Utancic. We'll stay on board with Donkey Max because Utancic is in the wall at turn 10. Turn 9, sorry. So Utancic, it looks like he's gone on the outside curb and lost it. Yes, there he is. There is the Alfa Romeo. So he is out of the session. Deadly, not Reek Physics, sorry, did have a spin. Deadly Mosquito's going slowly. Mandro's next to come across the line, see what he can do. He can't do anything, to say the least, because he's got an invalidated lap time, so he will have to go again. I think Maestro is about to cross, but again he can't improve. Physics into the pit lane, and Big Bad Boots is not really improving either. He's going to be slower on this lap, so it must be getting wet out there, because they don't seem to be able to find any time to improve. Grobs is still up there. That's a pretty good 47.1, to be fair, looking at the early pace setters. PMC's gone 5th with a 47.7. Normally see PMC at the front anyway. Tom's just done a 46.6 as he's up into P2. NZ Pro, his teammates up there as well, to be fair, who's just had a spin in Sector 3. He'll get back going slowly but surely. Mandro is one who hasn't set a lap yet. He's coming down the back straight, just overtaken Tom. AD's just done a 47.8, which has put him up to P6. He's just crossed the line. Looks like Tom's got some damage there. Mandro's just gone purple in the second sector here. So is there a dry line starting to appear on this racetrack? We will have to wait and see. NZ Pro is out of the session. He has crashed at the last corner. So we've lost 2 already. And NZ Pro is doing pretty well up in P5. But you can see his name is greyed out. He is out of the session, and you can see the marker. Hopefully this isn't going to affect Mandro's lap too much, and there he was in the side there. Mandro crosses the line, and it's a 45.4 for Mandro, a second quicker, well, over a second quicker than anybody else so far. Maestro's next to come across the line, who is improving, but I don't think he's going to improve enough by the looks of things. No, he isn't. It's a 46.1 for Maestro, so he brings him a couple attempts quicker, but not by much. So Mandro's on provisional pole. May's coming, or was coming round the final sector. He's had a spin down at turn 15 as well, so he will have to reset and go again. Donkey Max is struggling out there at the minute in these wet conditions. A 2-minute lap time he's set so far, and it looks like he's got some wing damage as well, so he's not looking very promising, to say the least. Fazak is also still to set a lap as he comes 28.6, is about average in the first sector so far. Benny, his teammate, is also to set a lap as Fazak goes very wide there, just about catches it. It just gives you an idea of how treacherous it is out there. It is slipping all over the place. It's a very wet circuit of the Americas, and with 8.5 minutes to go, it's anybody's game. Benny's just gone all the way up to P2. He's just done a 145.8, so still 4 tenths off the pace of Mandro though. So it's all to play for. Fazak's coming through the final sector now. He's not ripping it up, but this should get him at least off the bottom, if he can keep it together and keep it nice and tidy, which we'll soon find out if he does, as he comes around turn 18 and then into turn 19. 20 corners on this circuit of the Americas. Now the last corner, Fazak comes, it's going to be a 1:47.1 for Fazak, which jumps him up into the top 10, jumps him all the way to P6 actually, so pretty good so far. Benny is on another flying lap. We'll see if he can improve on his time already, and he's currently purple in the second sector. He's 5 tenths quicker than his previous time. If he can keep it together, this could put him on provisional pole if he can hold it together. He's trying to stick to the dry line as much as possible, you can see that, and he seems to be doing alright so far, keeping it together around turn 19. A little bit of oversteer on exit, but not horrendous. And I think this is going to be a pretty quick lap from him, and it is indeed. It's a 1:45.2. He goes 2 tenths quicker than Mandro, who's currently sat in the pit lane. So Mandro will need to try and get himself back out there if he wants to try and do anything. Just let me know, guys, in the chat how the my voice is tonight, because I have got a new mic. It seems alright at my end. Hopefully it's a nice bit clearer. I've got a new Logitech headset that I'm playing about with tonight, so hopefully all the sound and everything is all good. Just let me know. Benny is going for another flyer. Helix audio is perfect, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that. Benny, sorry, doesn't seem to be going as quick on this lap. Seems like he may be on an in lap. He's 6 seconds down. This will be an in lap to the pit lane, I think. Meanwhile, a little bit of the road. Tom has gone 9 tenths quicker so far than his previous time. This could potentially get him on provisional pole if he can pull another few tenths out of that hat. It's going to put him in the top 3 at least if he can keep it together as he rounds the final corner. And he's going to break into the 1:45s, but it's a 1:45.4, so it only drags him up to P3 so far. Mandro is on an out lap. He's got a bit of traffic. I think that might be Grobs actually, which is the traffic. It is indeed. And Grobs is going quicker as well, 7 tenths quicker. He's getting drier out there, to say the least. Grobs across the line and has a very poor last sector. Does not get it right at all. A millisecond slower than his previous lap. It was pretty much an identical lap to what he'd already done. See what Mandro can do. Maestro's just done a 1:45.2 and he's 2 thousandths of a second off Benny. It's getting close at the front now. You can tell it's getting drier out there. Guys are starting to find lap time. Mandro's 2 tenths down on his previous time. He needs to try and get something together if he wants to stay in that top 5. Doesn't go wide on exit there. Down the hill he comes. Into the hairpin and then onto this long back straight. Like I say, no DRS at the minute. He'll have to stay away. Donkey Max has snuck ahead of Mandro into P3. 1:45.3 for Donkey Max. Jumps him up the order to where he needs to be. Tom is not improving at the minute, so this is going to be tight when it comes to the championship battle. I think that's Reek Physic or Deadly Mosquito having a spin down at turn 9. It is. He's on his way again, but had a little bit of error. Mandro is 2 tenths up in the second sector, so he is going to improve a little bit. Is it going to be enough for him to jump back into P3 or even further up the order if he can get this last sector right into the final corner? Looks nice and tidy, does this, to be fair. What is it going to be? It's a 1:45.2. Jumps him ahead of Donkey Max into P3. So he moves up the order. 80's going alright out there as well on his return. 1:47.1 so far for the Alfa Romeo driver. His teammate Utancic is starting from the back of the grid due to having an accident. So he is out the session. Who else we got out there? PMC is invalidated. Tom is not going the quickest. Donkey Max is improving. 3 temps up in the second sector on his previous time. This could jumping ahead of Mandro once again. Mandro's just actually had a spin down at turn 9, just looking on the track map. He's on his way again. Donkey Max crosses the line. Really good last sector for Donkey Max. 1:44.9. The 1 minute 44 barrier is broken and Donkey Max is on provisional pole with just under 2 minutes to go in the session. And we still have more cars on their way. PMC coming through the S's. 3 temps up on his previous time. This could potentially jump him up the order as well. Tom is about to cross the line and goes P2 and crashes in the process of doing it. Has a bit of a wobble coming out. He's not beaten Donkey Max to pole position though, but he's got him on the front row. That is the most important thing that he needed to do. But he's crashed over the start finish line, so I don't think he's going to have time to get... No, he won't. He's not going to have enough time to get another lap in. So Donkey Max will be starting ahead of Tom regardless of what happens. Donkey Max's teammate PMC coming through the middle sector, and he's gone purple in the middle sector. Big Bad Boots has been disqualified from the session, apparently for going the wrong way. Well, it seemed that potentially might have been a glitch, that, because it didn't seem Fazak's crossed the line. PMC still improving. So he rounds the final corner. He will get another lap in as well to benefit from it. Crosses the line. Donkey Max has gone faster behind his teammate. He's done a 1:44.5 as Donkey Max. Tom's not going to be able to get a lap in. The only man who can really challenge is Benny now, as he crosses the line and he can't improve, so Benny can't do it. Mandro is up in the first sector. Can he improve even more in the second sector? He needs to pull 7 tenths out of that McLaren if he is going to get on provisional pole. Crosses the line, a 10th up. It's just starting to slip away from him a little bit. Still too wet for soft tyres, and it's too late to go out now, really. Mandra has a real wobble there coming through turn 18. Just about keeps it on the road. Out of the last corner. Over the curb. What's it going to be for Mandro? It's a 1:45.2 and it puts him second place. 1:45.3, sorry, for Mandro. 1:45.002 actually, sorry. So that jumps him into second place and splits the two championship rivals. AD is also improving. Fazak's crossed the line, not improved. AD's improving on this lap, but it looks like he may have had some front wing damage and he's not improving now. Deadly Mosquito 8 temps up on his previous time. What's it going to be for him? A 1:47.9 keeps him where he is, and May is retired, well, can't improve on the session. So Donkey Max is on pole position. Mandro is alongside him in P2. Tom is down in P3. He's also got a broken front wing to add to his problems. Benny's P4. Maestro's P5. Reek Physic is P6. Fazak is P7. PMC, who crashed out, is P8. AD's down in P9. Grobs is P10. NZ Pro, who also crashed out, is P11. Deadly Mosquito's P12. May's P13. Yutansik, who did crash out at the start of the session, is P14, and Big Bad Boots was disqualified from the session midway through. And that is your grid for the United States Grand Prix. Guys, stay tuned and we'll be back shortly for the race. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing League. The safety car, sorry, not the safety car, where have I got that one from? The formation lap for the United States Grand Prix is underway. Just a quick reminder of the grid for you. Donkey Max is on pole position in the Alpine. Mandro is alongside him in P2. Tom, the championship leader, who's rivaling Donkey Max at the minute, is down in P3. Benny is in the Williams, is alongside him in P4. Maestro's P5. Reek Physic is P6. Fazak's P7. PMC's P8. AD's P9. Grobs is P10. NZ Pro is P11. Deadly Mosquito's P12. May's P13. And Big Bad Boots is in 14th position. Dry racetrack out there. It'll be interesting to see what everyone's decided to go on. It's an interesting strategy call round here, because when it does get warm, tyre choice is critical. It was a wet qualifying session, so everyone on the grid has got free tyre choice, and a lot of them have gone for the soft tyre. Maestro has gone for the medium in the midfield, which is very interesting indeed. And also Grobs, who's inside the top 10 as well, has also gone on the medium. Mosquito and May and Yutansik are also on medium. So M5 guys, we'll wait and see what happens. I think the rest of the field might be expecting an early safety car potentially, or trying to do a two-stop race in this heat. We'll have to wait and see. Them guys nearer the back who are starting on mediums have got nothing to lose really, so they could really try and jump their way up the field on the medium tyres. They make their way round to the grid. Like I say, it should be an interesting race, this one. A couple of the guys have been reset. That doesn't matter. It'll be interesting to see what happens when them 5 red lights come on. It's a 30-metre elevation change up into turn 1, the highest elevation change into turn 1 on the calendar. It'll be interesting to see how they do as we go to 5 red lights here in Austin. It's lights out and away we go. Good get away from Donkey Max, but I think Mandro got a good start. He's going to have to tuck in anyway. Benny fighting with Tom behind, and there's an Alpine on the inside, and that is PMC clattering into everybody beside him. He really had a dive bomb into turn 1 there. A little bit of contact there with Utancic as they made their way through the S's for the first time. They should be able just about to keep this clean, just about keep it together. And Benny has given up the fight. Fazak is up to P5. That's a very good start for Fazak indeed. And who's out the back of the grid? I think that's Maestro who's out the spin. It is indeed. Maestro's out the spin. And also PMC who sent it up the inside into turn 1 has spun. So he's down the field as well. Back up to the front. Donkey Max still leads the way from Mandro, from Tom, from Benny, as they made their way down this long back straight. Tom looking for a move on Mandro. Mandro also looking to try and defend from Tom. Tom's going to try and go around the inside here, and he's going to try and get the outside into the next corner. This is going to be tight. Mandro's holding his line really well. Tom's going to get the inside for the hairpin. Mandro's sticking it round the outside. He'll get the inside for the next corner. Defends that really well, does Mandro. Stays in P2. Tom goes very wide, in fact, going through turn 18 there. And that's going to leave him vulnerable to Benny, who's just there to pick up the scraps. End of lap 1, Donkey Max 1:35.8. That's what we were more expecting. We only saw 1:44s in qualifying due to the wet conditions. As Benny makes his way down the hill. Is he going to try and make a move on Tom down the long back straight? You can really get a good draft down there. Let's see if you can stay with him through the twisty section first, which is a section of the track that the Williams does not like. It likes more straight line speed than cornering. Look very wide there from Tom in front. That might be one for the stewards to look at. Track limits. Around the hairpin and down the back straight for the second time. So it's a good start for the two Williams. Benny is up to P4 and Fazak, his teammate, is also up to P5. This could be good for the Williams boys. Itancic's got a penalty for multiple warnings. He's at the back of the grid anyway. NZ Pro has also got one. And we're only on lap 2 of this race. Luckily, it's Circuit of the Americas is a track that you can follow on pretty easily. There's plenty of overtaking opportunities. As Tom goes very wide there and very wide there again. It'll be running to the limit on track limits anyway, so allow Benny to catch up. Donkey Max has pulled a 1.3 second gap to Mandro, so extending that a little bit so far. Meanwhile, a bit further back, Maestro has just got past Big Bad Boots and may have a look at May down into turn 1 and thinks better of it. Gets very wide on exit actually. Boots might come back here if he can get a good exit, which he failed to do so, so that battle is deflated pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Reek Physic is catching up to Fazak. Fazak with a pretty good start to this race, to be fair. Not doing it now, and the DRS is open for Reek Physic. Is he going to try and make a move on Fazak coming down the back straight here? He goes to the inside. I think he gets the job done as well if he can turn it tight enough, and does so. So Reek Physic up to P5. Fazak's going to have to be careful here as AD and NZ Pro are also having a scrap behind. Is NZ Pro going to make a move, or is he just going to follow AD through this section? He did think about it, gets a big kick of oversteer on exit there. You saw the tail end of the car kick out, and that's Benny out of the race. Benny has crashed, coming through turn 18. There's the car on exit. Is that going to be a safety car? We'll have to wait and see. It looks like he's lost it coming through the exit there, and has just looped it round. I don't think there's a safety car to come looking at it. As NZ Pro gets past AD, AD's going to try and go back up the inside here. He has to go very deep, and I don't know if there was any contact there as NZ Pro comes back at AD like that. This is a great little battle between these two. AD AD goes very wide there and loses the back end and has to go to the gravel trap. AD has lost it and just about kept it going. He's down to P8 though, lost a few positions from that. Meanwhile, back at the front, Reek Physic has obviously moved up to P4. Fazak is looking to come back at him. And DRS down this long back straight is really pivotal here. If you get a good draft, you can really be on your way, and Fazak closes the gap to Reek Physic. Half a second is the gap at the minute. And they make their way through the twisty hairpin section of the track, past all the big grandstands and around the big music arena. And also on the inside of turn 18 now, there's also a football stadium there, which has been very recently built. A little bit of knowledge for you on the racetrack. Fazak gets DRS on Reek Physic again. He'd lost a bit of time in that last sector, so he'll just use the DRS just to bring him back into touching distance. It seemed like AD went very close there into turn 1. And AD's coming under attack from Maestro here for P8. Grobs is here. This could be a nice little battle between these three. Maybe starting to develop. AD loses a lot of time there on board with Maestro, who's using AD's mistakes to close in. Maestro obviously on the medium tyre. Grobs is also starting on the medium tyre as well, just ahead of these boys. Maestro thought about a move and thought better of it. AD's actually just got a time penalty for track limits. Maestro, DRS open on AD. This could get very interesting down towards the next corner, and AD cuts across him and takes Maestro out of the race. That is very naughty from AD, is that. He takes Maestro completely out, definitely moves across him. I'd like to see an onboard replay from Maestro of that, but it definitely looked like AD moved across him there, which is completely illegal. Well, I don't know what the stewards are going to have to take some serious action about that one, because it's not the first time we've seen AD do that in a Global Racing League race. He definitely moved across there and took Maestro out of the race. Meanwhile, he's got DRS on Grobs here. AD to the inside. Grobs gives him the space, very polite. He might try and get the switch back on here, down the hill as he goes to the outside. AD defends. This could get very hairy going through the S's here. That's the great thing about this racetrack though, is you're so able to follow. Really are. Maestro has pitted. Maestro has pitted for the hard tyres, so he will try and go to the end on them after getting wing damage. I'll try and read some of your guys' comments very shortly. As Grobs is going to come back at AD here. Hopefully we're not going to have a similar situation to what we had a lap ago. AD is pushing. He is really forcing people to the inside. And Grobs goes down the inside. Has to back out of it. And Maestro spun in the S's, I've just seen. So he'll have to get on his way again. Grobs has to back out a little bit, just lost a little bit of time to AD there. Closest battle on track so far, the gap to the leaders now. Donkey Max has got a 2-second gap to Mandro, but has just got a time penalty for multiple warnings. In fact, the top 3 have all got a time penalty, so it doesn't really affect them. It's sort of cancelling each other out. It's down through the S's we go once again. Look like Grobs was sliding a little bit there, coming out of the exit of turn 2. I mean, seems to he's kept on his way, so must have had to make a slight minute correction. Nothing more than that though. Meanwhile, PMC is following Deadly Mosquito. PMC, who was a bit aggressive at the start to say the least, has fallen down the order after that spin. He's trying to pull a bit of a recovery drive off here. And he will get DRS on Deadly Mosquito down the front straight. Just about. I think PMC will get the move done, and he does indeed. Meanwhile, a bit further up the road, and he's still hanging on to P7. Oh, I think the stewards will look at that incident between AD and Maestro. It definitely looked like AD moved across to block, which again is completely illegal, really. As they come through the S's once again, like I say, it's a really hard part of the track to follow, but everywhere else you can follow pretty easily with regards to the racetrack. Lap 8 out of 28. Laps are flying by here in Austin. And Donkey Max still maintains his 2-second gap to second place. He's got 4-second gap to his championship rival Tom, who's currently leading the championship. Grobs has DRS on AD, thinks about a move, thinks better of it on this occasion. As they head round turn 18 once again. A very swooping right-hander, to say the least. And Fazak has got past Reek Physic. Reek Physic has actually gone into the pit lane, so has AD. AD's just gone in as well. There's a few in there. Tom's in, who's just coming out. Reek Physic is in. And then Z Pro is also in, so a double stacking at Haas. And it seems to have paid off, really. And they've just about got away with the double stack. That means Fazak is up to P3 temporarily. Tom's gone onto a set of softs. That's very interesting. It seems like he is going to try and do a 2-stop race. Reek Physics gone onto medium, so he will definitely try and go to the end. Depends how track temperature ends. A Pro and AD both on softs again, so they will be trying a 2-stop, I think. PMC's also pitted as well. Meanwhile, we've got a yellow in sector 2. I think that's Deadly Mosquito round, and it is indeed at the hairpin onto the back straight. He will get on his way. Meanwhile, on board with PMC, he's going to try and make the move on Yutansic down the back straight onto the inside. Yutansic gives him the room. May try and swoop back on exit and can't quite manage it this time, so PMC is up the order. Mandro is now into the pit lane and comes out and almost collects Tom on the exit. Tom has to take avoiding action and go wide. Mandro will be going to the end of the race. Tom, this could be costly for him. It seems like everyone around him is trying to do a one-stop race, and he's the only one on a two-stop at the minute. Fazak is being closed in by Tom as well. Tom on fresher tyres. This could get interesting, to say the least. Donkey Max is also pitted, so he's being hauled in. He's going to be going to the end of the race. I think this is a very bad call in the championship for Tom. He's got DRS on Fazak. Fazak is going to give him the space. Tom gets the move done down into the corner. Mandro's going to try and get back past Fazak, which will be easier. Have a rolling roadblock at the minute. Look how close they're following there as they head their way down into turn 19. Mandro might try and make a move, and Deadly Mosquito is out of the race. Is that gonna change anything? We'll soon find out, but Deadly Mosquito is out of the race. He's had a crash at the S's, and also Reek Physic is also off the racetrack currently. And back on his way. Through now. Deadly Mosquito's been cleared away. So no safety car to come. Tom is chasing after the leader, Donkey Max. Tom needs to get ahead of Donkey Max, really. These two championship rivals. If Tom wants to pull off this two-stop race, he needs to get ahead of Donkey Max and stay ahead and extend the gap. She's going to be easier said than done on board with Tom going down the back straight. And Donkey Max is still maintaining his gap so far. Tom has a little bit of oversteer on exit there, just about gathers it up. Closest battle on track so far, and it's for the race lead at the minute. Tom had to get off the throttle there. On board with Tom once again up the 30-metre elevation change to the top of the hill. NZ Pro, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. And the race is just starting to even out a little bit now. Gaps are starting to form quite significantly. We have lost two, unfortunately. We've lost Benny and Deadly Mosquito from the race. But they're the only two drivers we've got. We've had no safety cars, no virtual safety cars. Marshals have been on it today, getting stuff cleared away. Meanwhile, Mayer's closed onto the back of Big Bad Boots. This is going to be Ferrari versus Red Bull going down the back straight. May, in theory, should get within DRS range, you'd like to think. 80 behind is certainly going to be a DRS range of May. See if May gets DRS to be able to defend. The answer to that is no. So AD's going to be able to have a bit of an attack. May goes defensive, forces or makes AD go to the inside. May try and get the switch back, almost turns in on AD there. So they make the way around the hairpins once again. AD's now onto the back of Big Bad Boots. Big Bad Boots will try and defend this one. AD looks to the inside, goes a very big dive, and I think that caught Big Bad Boots out of that one. He seemed like he wasn't expecting that move there. Whether there was any contact there, I'm not sure. Boots is into the pit lane. I'm wondering if he's got wing damage from that. Find out when he goes into his pit box, and he hasn't got wing damage, sorry, so not sure where that one has come from, unless I think he might have been due to pit actually, as Donkey Max has lost the position to Tom. Tom takes the race lead. It's not a disaster though, because Donkey Max can go to the end on them tyres. If he stays with Tom, Tom will have to pit again, so regardless of what's going to happen. Very wide on exit there, just about keeps it together. Donkey Max may have a go coming back at Tom here. They head onto the front straight to begin lap 14 of 28. Halfway point in this race. It's been an interesting race so far. Plenty of battles, all and up and down the field. Plenty of overtaking, plenty of drama. No safety cars, which is always a good thing. Fazak is into the pit lane. I'm just seeing on my bottom right hand screen. He's just rejoining. I don't think he'll get out ahead of AD. The answer to that is no. Donkey Max down the back straight. DRS on Tom here. Is he going to try and make a move? Tom goes very defensive down into the corner. Does Tom go a little bit deep on exit? Not really, to be fair. Pretty fair between the two of them. The lead of the race, and while these two are scrapping, Mandro has closed the gap to them, which could get very interesting indeed. Meanwhile, Fazak is going to get DRS on AD here and try and make a move. Fazak to the inside, and AD cuts across him again. That's not the first time we've seen AD do that tonight. The stewards are definitely going to have to look into that. And Fazak takes 7th place, but he may have got wing damage out of that one. It seemed a bit strange that AD was doing that. And meanwhile, I think AD's had a spin. He has indeed. AD spun in the middle sector. And he seems to have cooked his tyres by the looks of things. That could be him down the order pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Tom still maintains the race lead, but he's got another time penalty on top of all the ones he's already got. And Donkey Max will get DRS on him down this back straight. Battles starting to develop once again all over the racetrack. Donkey Max DRS on Tom. Will he get close enough to be able to make a move? He's going to use all the ERS and everything he's got in the tank to be able to try and do that. The answer is no on this occasion. He'll have to live to fight another day. NZ Pro will get DRS on Reek Physic here. This is to get into the top 5. DRS enabled for NZ Pro down the back straight. Is he going to try and make a move down into the hairpin? Not quite. Oh no, he goes for a very late lunge! Does NZ Pro, and he gets the job done! Really, really committed to that move. That was a very positive move from NZ Pro. He's like, nope, I'm coming through here. Very good move from him. Very late on the brakes. Sneaks past Freak Physic for P5. Well done. That's probably one of the best moves I've seen so far during this race. I think Big Bad Boots has had a spin down at the hairpin. He has indeed. Utancic has just followed him round. He's on his way again. Tom still maintains the race lead, but Donkey Max is a lot closer to him this time round than what he was last lap. So can Donkey Max try and get a DRS train and get past Tom for the race lead? The good news is really all Donkey Max needs to do is try and stick with him. If he can keep Tom within his grasp, Tom is going to be in trouble, and Donkey Max goes to the inside and gets the job done before turn one. Tom tries and fights back. Donkey Max has to go a little bit tight into the corner to avoid any further contact, but just about keeps it together. Meanwhile, AD is trying to get past May, thinks about a move on him there, and I think he might have just lost it, just about keeps it going. Big kick of oversteer though. AD will get DRS down this front straight though. Again, another close battle on track at the minute. And Tom is into the pit lane as expected, so Donkey Max retakes the race lead. Mandro will also get ahead of him. AD to the outside of May. That is brave. A little bit of wheel banging between the two of them. AD forces his way through and gets a time penalty for good measure. So the stewards will definitely look at them two incidents where he did have a bit of a moment. NZ Pro is looking to make a move on Reek Physic going up the hill. 30-metre elevation change. NZ Pro dives down the inside, gets the job done on Reek Physic, moves up to P5. I tell you what, man who is having a very good race, Grob, started all the way down in P10, is up to P4 currently, and we've got a virtual safety car. I'm not sure what that's for actually, but the virtual safety car is out. Potentially some debris on the track would be my best guess anyway. I'm not sure of any other reason why it's come out. Seems like they're about to get back up to racing speeds. It's right to go green once again, and we do go green now. PMC's got a drive-through penalty, so speeding under VSC, so that is him over, and Tom is into the Donkey Max, sorry, is into the pit lane. That is a very interesting call. He's clearly thought he's got enough time to Tom. He's putting on a set of soft tyres. Is he going to get out ahead of Tom? That is the crucial question. Mandro takes the race lead. God, it's going to be touch and go between. I don't think he is, you know. I don't think he is, and he isn't. Tom gets ahead of Donkey Max, but Donkey Max is on a fresh set of softs now, and the soft is a much faster tyre. Mandro is into the race lead, and you'd think if he looks after them tyres, we'll be able to go to the end on them if he plays his cards right. This could work out very well for Mandro, getting another race win to his name. We saw him have a very good drive last time out in Italy. Tom is still up there, Donkey Max is there, Reek Physic is also having a very good race as well. Currently P4 as it stands. I think there's a bit of a train of cars forming in the final sector here. Donkey Max is closing on to Tom on them new set of soft tyres. Tom has got onto a set of mediums, so won't be as quick, to say the least. These two keep battling. Mandro, this race could slip away from them pretty quickly. And Mandro has got a 12-second gap to them so far. Donkey Max, DRS up the hill, up towards turn 1. Heavy on the brakes. Lap 19 out of 28. Head through the middle sector, the first sector, sorry. Really tight, close following between them lot there. Donkey Max is going to look to try and make a move on Tom. You'd think it's going to be the most sensible place would be the back straight. A lot of the penalties, Jake, are only little 3-second ones just for going slightly off track, so which is expected around here. There's a lot of places where you can break track limits. Donkey Max to the outside on Tom. Tom has to brake very late. Donkey Max on the switchback. This could be a very good move. He has to go the long way round in the next corner. And is he going to get it done? He's just about. He's got it done. Tom back up the inside. Donkey Max tries to switch back, can't get it back. It's tussle and bustle between these two. Donkey Max might try and make a move into the next corner, can't quite do it there. It's a very hard corner to commit to and it tightens up on you pretty quickly. But he will get DRS up the hill once again. We've got a spinner, that's NZ Pro in the second sector. Donkey Max to the inside will get the job done on Tom. Tom's going to try and fight back. They're almost pushing each other around turn 1. So we go on to lap 20 out of 28 as they head through the S's once again. Once again, good move from Donkey Max and gets himself up into second position. Oh, Mandro still pulling away here. Tyres are getting old on that McLaren, but still all to play for from here on in. Meanwhile, AD's got past NZ Pro. Your Tansik's doing a bit of pushing on NZ Pro as well. Your Tansik cuts across NZ Pro there. And I'm not quite sure what happened as they take each other out and just about keep it going, but your Tansik spins and collects NZ Pro there. Thought that was going to end a lot worse was that, but somehow they've got away with it pretty fairly. Your Tansik is into the pits and the teammates have taken each other out. I don't believe it. AD is out of the race. Your Tansik loses it, and that is a very late safety car between the two of them. AD's out of the race. To be honest, his driving will be questioned by the stewards anyway, but his teammate your Tansik has took him out after losing it. And that has brought out a safety car. That incident between the two of them might get looked at. Is anybody into the pit lane? The answer is Tom is in. He's going to try and get on the set of soft tyres. But Mandro is not going to be looking forward to this one now. Mandro gets behind the safety car. But this could be anybody's race now with this very late safety car. You'd think Mandro might go into the pit lane this lap. But everyone's going to close up onto him. He might think better of it. And NZ Pro has been disqualified. NZ Pro's been disqualified from the race. So NZ Pro is our next casualty. He is out of the race. He's been discarded. I don't know if he's been speeding under the safety car or something, I'm not sure, but he is out of the race and there's not much you can do about that one. So that's 4 drivers we've now lost in this race. 3 for accidents, 1 for a DNF, a disqualification. Mandro looks very desperate to get past the safety car here. I wonder if he's trying to get into the pit lane, to be fair. If he is going to do that, he's going to lose a handful of positions if he does. It'll be interesting to see what he does. And he is going in as expected, really. Mandro is into the pit lane. He's going to lose a lot of positions, is Mandro, onto a set of soft tyres. It is for him. Going to lose all the way down to P6 is Mandro now. That could be his race. It's really between Tom. I mean, Grobs is in there as well. Don't count Grobs out of this one. Neither Reek Physic. They've all had very good races. This could be anybody's race by the time we get back going. And as always, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for the restart shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys, to the Global Racing League. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. Donkey Max leading the way Who's going to get the better getaway? That is the question. Sure. Who's going to manage to do it? There is a bit of a gap of traffic between Donkey Max and Tom. That's Big Bad Boots and Utancic behind Donkey Max, wedging it away, and it looks like Donkey Max is going to leave it to the last second here to try and pull away. He's gone now as soon as the safety car enters the pits. We are green once again in Austin, lap 24 out of 28. Donkey Max gets a very good restart. Looks like Rick Physic is going to have a dive on the inside of Grobs into turn 1. Just about gets it done. And it looks like Maestro on the recovery drive is going to try and follow him through. They go side by side down through turn 2. And I think Grobs has lost it. Yes, he is. He hits the wall. Grobs is out of the, well, not out of the race, but he's got very heavy damage. He drops all the way down the field. And is that going to be another safety car? No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're going to be okay. As Rick Physic is now up into P3, Tom's P2, Donkey Max is P1. And it's anybody's play. Donkey Max is on the older set of softs here. Rick Physic and Tom pitted at the same time on 2 laps ago, so their tyres aren't quite as warm. Meanwhile, Fazak's going to have a move on Maestro just behind us. Has a look, thinks better of it in the end. It looks like Fazak might have gone a bit wide there. He's left himself vulnerable on exit. Mandro sweeps around the outside of him. And I think that's Utancic that's gone into the wall behind us. It is indeed. He's lost the front wing. So he will have to pit for a new one. Maestro's trying to follow Rick Physic to try and get on the podium here. And to be fair, Rick Physic has had a decent race. He don't really deserve to get past, really, the way he's been driving at the minute. Lap 25 out of 28, 3 to go here in Austin. After this very late safety car has really bunched the field back up again. And Tom is slowly but surely reeling in Donkey Max. This could be a very interesting end to this United States Grand Prix. Fazak's got a penalty as well, as penalties all over the place today. Tom is out of DRS range this time. Maestro trying to close up. Mandro's not far behind these two either. He could easily sneak his way back up into the points. Into the big points, sorry. Mandro's looking for a move on Maestro here. And Utancic has been disqualified from the session. I'm not sure why that is, but Utancic has also gone. He is out of the race. As meanwhile Maestro tries to get past Rick Physic down the hill. Maestro thinks about having a look through the S's. It's very brave to go for a move there. Rick Physic goes a little bit wide, gets a little bit spooked by Maestro's presence. Just about hangs on, but this is getting a bit scrappy between these boys. It's going to bring Mandro back into play. This is a really good freeway battle. Mandro's going to go down the inside of Maestro. Is he going to get it done? Maestro gives him the room, very polite. And I think they'll both get DRS. These could swap positions. Rick Physic's in trouble here. Mandro goes right. Maestro goes left. The 3 wide down the back straight. And they both sweep past Rick Physic. And Mandro might finish the move off with a double overtake on Maestro here. And he does swoops round the outside. That's one of the best bits of racing I've seen all season. Fantastic stuff from Maestro. Makes it, Mandro, sorry. Maestro and Reek Physic had their roles to play in that. Really good bit of racing between these three. But Mandro was probably one of the best moves of the season so far. Overtakes Reek Physic, overtakes Maestro on the outside under braking. Really, really good racing between these lot. Lap 27 out of 28. Penultimate lap in this United States Grand Prix. We're going to go back to the front. Tom is attacking Donkey Max still. Is Tom going to get a chance to get that little bit of DRS that he just needs on Donkey Max to try and get the move done? Otherwise, the gap is going to be closing in the championship today. Tom, DRS down the back straight. He'll use this DRS to get a little bit closer to Donkey Max's Alpine. Uses it to pretty good effect so far. Can Tom get Haas a win in their home Grand Prix? Have to wait and see. Whether he can do the following part is the main thing. If he can follow around these last couple of sectors, he's going to close the gap pretty quickly. We're about to cross the line to head on to the final lap of the race. Donkey Max leads us on to the final lap, 28 out of 28 here at the Circuit of the Americas. And Tom uses the DRS to get that little bit closer. This is going to be a last thrilling last lap here in the single star, in the Lone Star state of Texas. Tom is still trying to get that little bit closer. He will get a big draft down here, but it's now or never for Tom. If he's going to make the move for the race win, he needs to do it now. He's going to get DRS on Donkey Max down this back straight. It looks like he may be a little bit too far back to make a move. He's going to have to send it and commit it. If he's going to, he is going to send it. Tom to the inside, brakes late and gets it stopped. Makes his move to the race lead. Donkey Max is going to come back at him. This is brilliant driving from these two on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Donkey Max, Tom battling it out. Tom goes a little bit deep there. Donkey Max might come back at him. Is Donkey Max going to have to do with Verstappen in turn 18? He's a bit too far back on this occasion. It's going to be so close between these two at the end of the race. They've both had a brilliant drive. Is Donkey Max going to make a move in the last corner? He can't on this occasion. It's going to be a drag race to the line. It's not quite enough. Tom wins the United States Grand Prix. Tom comes home to win it. Mandro comes home for originally P3 on the road. Maestro takes P3, Mandro P4, PMC comes home for P5, Reek Physics P6 with penalties, Fazak's P7, May will come home for P8, Grobs will come home for P9, and Big Bad Boots will come home for P10. What a finish that race that was. And in fact, Donkey Max wins it on penalties. It's just changed in front of my eyes. I apologise for that. Donkey Max does maintain it. Tom must have more penalties than him. So Donkey Max wins the United States Grand Prix. It's changed right at the last second. And that means the gap closes in the championship. It makes it a little bit more interesting. Great battle from them two on the last lap. And it was a really good race. Guys, thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you next time.